Pitching from the front of the rubber is one of our staple projection drills, and it also helps us to help athletes understand the shin angle and the kind of energy we want to create with our back leg. Because we put our back leg against the rubber, we allow ourselves to leverage something. So if you're familiar with like the Queen of the Hill product, this is a very similar aspect and feedback mechanism for us as coaches with an eye and for us as athletes to be able to know that, once again, if I push hard and I'm at the right place, my point, my angles that create energy well, then all that's going to happen is when I push into the rubber, I'm going to immediately be pushed away from the rubber. That's what science tells us. So when we're pitching from the front of the rubber from our staggered stance position, this is very simple. It's just pitching from the front of the rubber. It's staggered, fall, and pitch. And that's it. It's just a staggered falling pitch. And the reason we use the word fall so much, we really wanted to group the understanding of when we fall, we want the body to fall as one. We want to maintain these shapes. Notice how we maintain that shape all the way through. All the way through until the moment that here's the back leg, bang, the back leg goes immediately at the angle it was at, and then we're driving through. Those are the things that we want to have happen, and then we finish through our pitch. Here's another example. Same thing. This young lady isn't as explosive yet as the young lady before with that back leg, but she is a much better driver with her front leg. And so we can see the differences. And with this young lady, there's a really, really solid drag. What we still like is that when the young lady pushes, energy goes straight back. There may be a little lag backwards, and yes, she can push a lot harder. But remember, projection drills are about position. We put kids in a position where they only have to focus about very little. All we're trying to achieve here is, are we falling together? Are we keeping those angles? And when we do apply force into the ground, are all of those angles getting us diagonal? And we see here that yes, she's doing that. We have spine, back leg. She's already pushed through the back leg. Spine, front leg. Those things match. So now everything is up to me as a coach or me as an athlete. If I need to work on hip extension, that's going to clearly show, because we've talked about this in many of our videos. Your hips should hover and close ground to your shoulder and knee. And we do such a good job here. We have a great drag. That great drag is created by getting the hip extension. And what we saw in the other young lady, and what we continue to work on for her, is the opposing. We've got great positions, great angles. All those things are the same. The back leg bangs really well. This is one of those young ladies who comes up a little early through the top of her head. But because there's so simple things to work on, all we do is cue that. Keep your head down longer, or look at the mat. Don't ever look up. And now we're getting the athlete to understand projection, and we're giving simple executable cues as far as coaching, because we have a simple plan. Manipulate the position, allow the athlete to work just through projection. All our focus is on is, are we banging through? And another way to keep that head from moving, look how much longer it takes her to push off her right leg, as opposed to our young lady in blue, who is just push. There's the push. So there's a time frame there. If we look here, even though her push isn't as hard, look at how quickly. Bang, bang. As soon as you see the front knee shift down, she's pushing. 1, 2. And that's important.